on this 18th of April, 2023. I will now call to order the City of Racine Common Council and move to the agenda to begin move to the podium to begin our program. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. If you could please rise as you are able. And Cynthia Lopez, Case High School student, will lead us in the pledge. Cynthia?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, I'll ask Pastor Mark Deutsch of Holy Communion Lutheran Church to lead us in the invocation. Pastor Mark.
Good evening, everyone. When a pastor sees the pews filled like this, he wants to preach, but no worries, no worries. Grace and peace to you all, dear friends. It is a good night to be together on this very, very important occasion. One of my favorite theologians, Rabbi Abraham Heschel, once said that a faithful person is someone who holds God and human beings in one thought, at one time, at all times. It is someone who suffers harm done to others. It is someone whose greatest passion is compassion. And it is someone whose greatest strength is love. In my own tradition, one of our core beliefs is the belief that everyone is welcome, that every single person is important and has something significant to offer, and that love should be at the center of everything that we do, and that we should offer our love to the world. We need to give our goodness to the world. Mayor Corey Mason is all of these things. This is a really, really good man, and I am honored to know him, and especially these last couple of years, it has been a very treasure to open him. He has an open heart and an open mind and a great love for this community. This is an important night. We are here to give thanks for Corey Mason and for his administration for 4 years of service, but we are also here to bless the next 4 so that we can all be about the business of building prosperity and peace in our community. Let us pray. Almighty and everlasting God, you hate nothing that you have made. You love everyone and you made us. Sustain us now with your love. Tonight, we come with grateful hearts, thankful for all that we have and for all those that we love. We come from many places, many backgrounds, many ethnicities, many paths. Yet tonight, we have come together inspired by a singular vision, to struggle and work for the well-being of all those who inhabit this city and call it their home. As our newly re-elected mayor and his administration assume their responsibilities to lead our city, may we always see them dedicated and with dignity and serving. And may they always see us with a willingness to labor and to give them our support. May they be inspired by courage and wisdom and by kindness and compassion to stand in solidarity with all those in need. Help them and help us all to defeat prejudice, overcome fear and hostility, and to unite this city. Help us always to do what is right and to challenge everything and anything that would diminish justice in this city. Help us to see in this moment an invitation to move forward with purpose and intention as we strive to make this city a better place to live. Help us be good stewards of our time, our resources, and our faith as we work together on behalf of one another. Bless Corey Mason and his family as they begin a new term. Bless this administration and their loved ones as they serve this city. And bless all of the hard-working people of Racine who work alongside them. Good and gracious Lord, pour out your blessings upon all of us here in the city of Racine so that we can thrive. We ask this in your holy name, confident in your love and in your mercy. Amen.
Next, I have the honor of being sworn in, and I'll ask Judge Janet Protasewicz and my wife to join me for the oath.
Please repeat after me. I solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Wisconsin,
and the state of Wisconsin,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of mayor for the city of Racine to the best of my ability, according to law. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for that. Good evening, members of the City Council, city staff, and you, the members of the Racine community. Thank you for joining me here tonight. I often say that serving as mayor of Racine is the greatest honor of my professional life, that it is the hardest and best job I have ever been called to do. Tonight, I am proud and humbled to begin my second full term in service to our community as your mayor. I begin this term with a larger margin and a bigger mandate from voters than I had when I was first elected to this office a little more than 5 years ago. First, thank you to voters for your trust and confidence in me and my administration so that we can continue our important mission of moving our city forward together. I'd like to thank Judge and soon-to-be Justice Janet Protasewicz for the honor of swearing me in today and her commitment to our rights and our freedoms. And to Pastor Mark, thank you for your spiritual guidance and fellowship and your invocation here tonight. And to Cynthia Lopez, a Case High School student and an intern in the mayor's office, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Yes. Cynthia, you're a great example of the future leadership of our city. I also want to thank the broad and diverse coalition of people who volunteered their time and effort to get me reelected, particularly Jonathan Jarman, Fabio Maldonado, Meg Andrich, and countless others who gave tons of time and resources and love and dedication to bring me here today. So thank you. And while my siblings aren't here today, I do want to thank my brother Christopher, a genetic scientist, and my sister Rosemary, an elementary school teacher here in Racine Unified, who is at a concert at her school right now. I want to thank them for their love and, in their own as important, maybe more important ways, their service to the public. Special thanks to my children, Eleanor, Amelia, and Corey. I have been an elected official their entire lives. Public service has meant more time away from them than I would like. I am so proud of the young people that you are becoming and the hard questions that you ask me about racial justice, about climate change, about voting rights, and the other real concerns you have about the future of our community and our world. And the greatest thanks that I have to offer is to my wife, Rebecca. Being a public servant is a sacrifice for the entire family, my wife most of all. She has been a steadfast advisor, a partner, an amazing mother, and my best friend through all the challenges and opportunities that come along with serving as mayor. I could not do this without her love and support. I love you, Rebecca. As many of you know, I was born and raised here in Racine, and I'm a proud product of Racine Unified Public Schools. It was in these schools and in this city that I first experienced the values of democracy, diversity, and the importance of great public education. We are so blessed to be here in Racine, this city on the shores of Lake Michigan, a beautiful place to live, but also a place of great history and innovation. Our children are the 6th generation of our family to live in Racine. We have been blessed. Every generation has done a little bit better than the generation before. That is the promise of what Racine can and must be for all of our children. After all, it is nothing less than the American dream. Now, some naysayers would have you believe that Racine's best days are behind us, that the challenges before us are too great to overcome. Don't you for 1 second believe that. While we have challenges in our community, I believe with all my heart that what is right and good about this city can solve the challenges before us and build on our success. I believe that no matter what, Racine is a place where you can be the best and most authentic version of yourself. That we can create safe and healthy neighborhoods for our families and where our children can thrive. That no matter your background, your race, your ethnicity, your sexual orientation, your identity, or religion, that this is a place where you can and should feel loved for being you. This is a place where we take our rights seriously, particularly around the right to vote and the right to make your own healthcare decisions. It is a community that will continue our work to grow the middle class from the bottom up and the middle out. We will invest in our children and our public schools to ensure that everyone in our community is given the opportunity to live up to their God-given talents. I do this standing on the shoulders of my parents, Roseanne and Corey Mason, who are here tonight, along with other relatives. I couldn't continue to do this work without their love and support, and literally wouldn't be here were it not for them. So there are successes that we will build on. The Violent Crime Reduction Initiative is making strides in reducing violence. The city has the lowest unemployment rate in a generation. We've seen more economic development in the last 5 years than the previous 20. I can't wait for Hotel Verdant to open this summer. We are moving people into the middle class with home ownership and educational opportunities. And there are real challenges we will face too. Will the legislature adopt Governor Evers' proposal and finally invest in public safety and pay its fair share to keep our communities safe? Will the holistic work of violence prevention continue its early success? Can we rebuild our neighborhoods to make them safe, healthy, and a place we can all call home? Will we protect the lakefront from the threats of climate change as storms become more intense and more frequent? Will we build a health clinic to provide much-needed mental and medical health to our residents? Will we improve the customer service people receive when they communicate with the city? Can we invest in amenities to make Racine the community of choice for the region? More will come on these topics in the days ahead. All of these challenges are substantial, but so are our successes. We have a community of great people, amazing partners, and an amazing amount of talent in our city staff and colleagues I am proud to serve with on this city council. We can do this. We will have a brighter future. We will build a better community. We will make a stronger Racine. We will do the hard work of moving us forward together. Thank you. So I will just say we're going to stand informal just for a couple minutes for people to move around. If people need a break, there is room in room 207. We are going to have a reception when we're all done here down at the Social at 6, but we're going to stand informal for just about 5 or 10 minutes and get the room reconfigured. Thanks, everyone. If council members and guests could please take their seats, we'll get started again in just a couple minutes. If members and guests could please take their seats, we'll get started in just a couple minutes.
You're gonna have to bang it.
I don't think people heard.
No, you're gonna have to bang the guy.
Nobody. You got that gavel for me.
If members and guests could please take their seats, we will resume the meeting. If members and guests could please take their seats, and we will resume the meeting. So the next honor that we have tonight is to swear in all the alders who were on the ballot in this April's election. I'm going to ask the city clerk to give some brief instructions and ask everyone who was on the ballot this year to join us at the retaining wall. Clerk McManaman.
Sure, if you're from an odd district and you were recently reappointed or appointed, if you could please line up facing your families, I'll come to the front and we'll swear you in so that you have a proper photo facing the opposite way.
For new alders, particularly alders Kelly and Davis, they'd like to say a few words to thank family and friends. You can do so now if you would like. Oh.
Check, check. All right, thank you. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to my family and most importantly, my two kids, Evan and Kara, who are here tonight. They've all made a lot of sacrifices to the last couple months to get us, through the finish line. And so I appreciate them standing by me and supporting me through this process. I would also like to thank all of the elected officials, business owners, friends, and neighbors of the 13th District that came out to help me with my campaign. It's a very humbling experience to see the absolute groundswell of people that came out to assist in the effort. So thank you, because without you, this would not be possible. A special thank you to both the police and fire unions, not only for their endorsement, but also all of the assistance with the process of the campaign. After working mandatory overtime and long overnight shifts, this did not stop them from meeting at 7 a.m. to do literature drops in the cold snow and rain. This truly speaks to the integrity of our men and women in uniform, so for that I am beyond grateful. Please remember that I will always stand with you. Most importantly, I would like to thank all of the residents and business owners of the 13th District that came out to make their voices heard to be a part of this change. I want to thank you for allowing me to be your voice on Common Council when your voices have not been heard. Thank you.
Alder Davis, if you'd like to make a few comments.
I reckon so.
Oh.
I'm not a person of many words, so I just want to thank my family, my friends, the constituents of the 3rd District who showed up to vote me in. Although I ran unopposed, this is a position that has sat with me on my mind for many years, canvassing with Mr. Michael Shields, past auditor of the 3rd District. So I'm happy to sit here to represent 3rd District, because if y'all know, that's where I grew up majority of my life. So I'm here to rock it for y'all. Thank you, and I'll see y'all on the streets.
And I apologize, I was remiss. Alder Land also had contested elections here. Alder Land, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I would like to thank the people of the 11th District for putting their faith in me and trust in me and electing me to represent you, and I will do my best to represent you on this council and try to solve any problems that you may have. I would also like to thank my volunteers, because some of them that are sitting right here, I couldn't have done it without you, and I'm eternally grateful. I'd like to thank my family, who is always supportive of me and who puts up with my absences. I'm always thankful to them. I'd like to thank the city staff. We have an excellent city staff that's always there to help me solve problems with constituents. They respond right away, and I'm very thankful to our excellent staff.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we move on to the, Alder Jones. No? Okay. Sorry, before we move on to the election of the council president, I did need to note for the record that we do have an absence this night. Could the clerk please acknowledge the absence here?
Sure. Alder Jarrett has asked to be excused, and we are also missing Alder Peterson.
Great. Thank you. Now we will move on to the election of the council president. I'm going to ask the city attorney since we do this every couple years, we might be needing a refresher on how we do this. I'm going to ask the city attorney to read out loud the process for the election of the council president.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is per Racine Ordinance 2-61B, election of president. The Common Council shall, at its organizational meeting, elect one of its members to be president for the ensuing year. The mayor shall accept nominations for council president from the floor. Once nominations are complete, each nominee shall be afforded not more than 5 minutes to present reasons that he or she should be appointed. A vote shall be taken by open ballot. If there are more than 2 nominees and no nominee receives enough votes to constitute a majority of the aldermanic members of the Common Council present, the 2 nominees receiving the most votes shall be voted upon again. If more than 2 nominees tie for the largest number of votes, the aldermanic members of the Common Council president shall vote again. If no nominee receives a majority and there are still more than 2 who tie for the largest number of votes, the names of those nominees shall be written by the city clerk on individual pieces of paper, and the mayor shall draw 2 names to be voted upon. In the event that there is a tie between the 2 nominees, or no nominee receives enough votes to constitute a majority of the aldermanic members of the Common Council present, after 5 successive votes, the mayor shall select the Common Council president by choosing between the 2 final nominees.
At this time, I would entertain nominations. Alder Jones.
Thank you. I would like to nominate the Alder of the 9th District, Terry McCarthy, for president.
There's a nomination for Alder McCarthy. Is there a second? Seconded from Alder Caprillion. Are there other nominations? Are there other nominations? Seeing no nominations, we will close the nominations. And at this point, you do have ballots in front of you. And I'll ask the clerk one more time just to describe the next step in terms of what to do with the ballot in front of you with the 1 nomination we have.
Sure. If you could please write your name on the very first line and then who your vote is for. I believe there's right now only 1 candidate. And then if you could please sign the bottom, my deputy and I will be around to collect them.
So we'll stand informal just for a couple minutes while Alders fill out their ballots and the clerk collects them.
All right, the first vote is for Alder McCarthy. One for Alder McCarthy, 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 and last but very not least, Alder McCarthy.
Alder McCarthy, well, it may seem moot at this point. You do have 5 minutes to persuade your colleagues as to why you should be the council president.
I would like to make a couple comments.
Yes, please.
Fellow council members, thanks for your confidence you've expressed by electing me as council president. I'm humbled and will endeavor to affirm that confidence. I want to speak briefly on two topics this evening. The first is regarding how we work together. I'm sure we all want what is best for the city and for our districts. We may not agree, however, on approaches. It's natural we'd have differing perspectives. It'd be naive to expect anything else, really. What I ask of you is that you actively listen to your colleagues as they state their cases, especially those colleagues with whom you tend to disagree. Only by listening will we understand the different perspectives and be able to find the best solutions. To quote Stephen Covey, most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Let's not be those people. The second topic is regarding what we work on. The mayor and previous councils have focused intently on those who need a hand in improving their situations. This work should continue. We need, however, to expand what we do to improve the quality of life for those who don't need and or have not benefited from these programs. Racine is making strides in attracting people who are less in need of help with the addition of hundreds of units of market-rate housing. These new residents, as well as good homeowners in the community, want to see evidence that their tax dollars are helping them, too, by making the city a more attractive place to live. What might that look like? It might be the city trails cleared for use in the winter. It might be enhancement of our street and alley repair or enforcement of our speeding laws. It must be realizing that our constituents and residents are our customers and treating them as such. I call on the mayor's office to provide transparency and clear communication in these efforts. I call on you, the alders, my colleagues, to be the conduit to provide ideas from your residents to department heads. I call on our department heads to expand their efforts through their committees to identify programs and funding sources and to propose the budget required to implement these in their next submissions. It will be incumbent upon the council to prioritize these improvements. I anticipate covering these opportunities in a series of committee of the whole meetings over the next several months. Fellow council members, I anticipate these are topics which we can agree on, improving quality of life and actively listening to each other. Let's make life better for all of our residents and make Racine the residential community of choice for Southeast Wisconsin. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the announcement of the standing committee appointments, which I will read now. This is for Finance and Personnel, Public Works, Public Safety and Licensing, and the Executive Committee. So for Finance and Personnel, Alder West, Chair, Alder Horton, Vice Chair, Alders Land, Paffrath, and McCarthy. For Public Works, Alder Jones, Chair, Alder Jarrett, Vice Chair, Alders Davis, Perez, and Kelly. For Public Safety and Licensing, Alder Pete, Chair, Alder Sebastian, Vice Chair, Alders Coe, Peterson, and Caprillion. Based on those appointments, the Executive Committee will be made up of myself, Alder McCarthy as the Council President, Alders West, Jones, Pete, and Land. That ends the announcement of standing committee appointments. The last thing before us is the appointment of several boards, committees, and commissions. Alder McCarthy, at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the list of appointments.
Move to approve the appointments by Mayor Mason.
Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Alder Horton. Any discussion on the appointments? This is one that we will not do by voice vote, we'll do by roll call. So when the clerk calls your name.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to read them off, continuing the tradition of the previous president.
Go right ahead.
To ensure that people get appropriate recognition for their service.
Please proceed.
For the Planning and Heritage and Design Commission, Alder Jones and Alder Pete. Christina Heffel, Trevor Young, and Mayor Mason for the Zoning Board of Appeals. Jeffrey Thomas, Jan Adamski, Alder West, Mayor Mason, and Napoleon Hardy for the Community Development Authority. Charles Helm for the Community Development Block Grant Advisory Board. Alder Paffrath for the Douglas bid, Alder Coe for the Downtown bid, and Alder Davis for the Uptown Business Improvement District. Robert Turner for the Police and Fire Commission. Bruce Fishbane for the Sex Offender Residency Board. Sue Pinsger and Natalie Chulu for the Board of Review. Natalia Taft, John Tate, Alder Jones, and Alder McCarthy for the Waterworks Commission and for the Wastewater Commission. Alder Horton, Alder Jarrett, Dr. Foucan, John Berge, and Laura Martinez for the Board of Health. Alder Land, Alder Horton, and Stacy Shepard for Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services. Alder Pete, Alder Jarrett, and Barbara Farrar for the Affirmative Action and Human Rights Commission. Alder Jones, Alder Horton, and John White for the Transit Commission, and Pastor Ernest Naya for the Board of Ethics.
Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, when the clerk calls your name, please vote as you wish.
Alder Coe. Aye. Alder Jones. Aye. Alder Davis. Aye. Alder Paffrath. Aye. Alder Horton. Aye. Alder McCarthy. Aye. Alder Pete. Aye. Alder Land. Aye. Alder Perez. Aye. Alder Kelly. Aye. Alder Sebastian. Aye. 11 ayes, 0 noes.
That motion carries. Just one quick announcement before we adjourn here. There is a reception that the public is invited to at the Social on 6th, just down the street. I'd invite all to attend. Seeing that we have exhausted our agenda, I will now declare our meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.